Hi, my name is Ali Asgar. This video introduces CoShMDM, a contact and shape-aware latent motion diffusion model for realistic human interaction generation. This work is co-authored with Takis Segai Tuolde, Ramadani Ali Duma, and Jandong New. Text-driven human interaction generation is essential for computer graphics, animation, robotics, virtual environments, but this remains challenging due to complex interpersonal dynamics. Given a text prompt, the goal is to generate interaction motions that are physically plausible and semantically aligned. So we introduce a contact and shape-aware latent motion representation and a diffusion model for generating the realistic interactions that resolves two of the existing problems in the research. First is the absence of the fine-grained contexts, and second is the reliance on the single canonical body shape. So CoShMDM addresses these challenges through contact-aware modeling using mesh contact matrices and explicit SMPL shape conditioning. So this produces the contact and shape-aware motion representation and latent motion diffusion model. So this figure overviews the CoShMDM pipeline. It operates in two stages. First is the one where we learn the contact and shape-aware quantized latent motion representation. And in the second stage is dedicated to modeling the contact and shape-aware diffusion model. So first we retarget the interhuman and interacts dataset interaction sequences to diverse body shapes by converting the motion to SMPL meshes and computing the sign distance field for contact modeling. We then train a policy network to correct intermesh penetrations and generate retargeted motions with contact details. The retargeted motion and contexts are then encoded by separate encoders into quantized tokens. These tokens are then concatenated with separated token and then are used to train a common decoder to reconstruct the interaction generation. In the second stage, the learned motion representation trains a motion diffusion model conditioned on the text prompt and SMPL shape parameters. A frozen motion decoder finally produces the final interaction sequence. We explicitly incorporate SMPL shape parameters, enabling the motion generation that generalizes across diverse body shapes instead of fixed canonical mesh. The fine-grained contexts are modeled using normal alignment-based mesh contexts, capturing the physical plausible interperson contact regions. The mesh contact matrix then represents the entire contact dynamics of each frame. Similarly, for correct body orientations, we employ orientation vectors encoding head, chest, and pelvis directions. This provides explicit cues for gaze, face direction, and interaction alignment. Once the mesh contact matrix is generated, we then construct a bipartite graph between interacting individuals to capture interaction dynamics for improving contact and motion consistency. Then, the embeddings of the contact orientation vectors and the bipartite graph are fed into CMC attention module to enforce contact motion consistency over time. Now we present the qualitative results demonstrating the realistic interaction synthesis across diverse prompts. Here are some of the example prompts and corresponding generated interaction sequences. On the interacts dataset, CoShMDM generates natural interactions with accurate contact timing, proximity, and semantic alignment. Here are a few more qualitative examples. Similarly, some results on the interhuman datasets again demonstrate robust generalization across motion styles and interaction intensities. The CoShMDM preserves interaction semantics while adapting motion to different body shape configurations as shown in these examples. We now compare CoShMDM with state-of-the-art methods on challenging interaction prompts. In this example, the prior methods, including intergen, intermask, and free motion, suffer from intermesh penetrations, incorrect or missing contacts, and bad proximity, while our method produces accurate interactions without mesh penetrations or semantic drift. In the second example, the state-of-the-art methods again suffer from similar motion artifacts, while the CoShMDM attains better semantic alignment with text prompts and produce realistic contexts. For spinning actions, the state-of-the-art methods often fail to match the semantics, while the CoShMDM maintains correct rotation semantics and interaction timing. In this example, only CoShMDM achieves synchronized rotation direction, demonstrating superior semantic grounding, as opposed to the state-of-the-art methods which often fail to maintain synchronization and confuse in motion directions. Again, in this example, the CoShMDM correctly captures the causal motion, where surprise follows the shouting, unlike the baselines, where the character role and the sequence of actions are confused. Similarly, in embracing interaction, CoShMDM shows the realistic approach, contact, and head motion as compared to the state-of-the-art methods, which fails to omit the action and context completely. This example again demonstrates the accurate modeling of contexts with explicit orientation vectors, while the SOTA methods produce similar motion artifacts. Now we show the ablation studies to analyze the contribution of key components of the framework. In the first study, we evaluate the effect of removing policy network, orientation vectors, and CMC module. Removing policy network results in bad contact and intermesh penetrations. Removing the orientation vector produce incorrect body orientation and the gaze action. Removing the CMC degrades contact quality and body alignment, while using the full model attains better interaction quality. Again, in this example, the full model consistently achieves contact hand-to-hand body contacts, correct hand-to-hand body contacts and interaction semantics, while removing the components introduce motion artifacts. Similarly, this example again confirms that all the components are necessary for stable contact-aware motion generation. Now, in the second ablation study, we evaluate CoShMDM with SDF using supervised approach against the reinforcement learning-based policy. Here, RL policy attains better semantic alignment, while supervised SDF suffers from bad head orientations. Again, compared to the supervised SDF, policy-guided SDF yields better semantic and physical consistency in the second example. The similar effect is again observed in this example. So these examples show that the shape-aware modeling with the RL policy enables retargeting motions without contact degradation. In the last ablation study, we evaluate the effect of contact bias term used in contact and motion consistency attention. Omitting the bias term result in bad contacts and incorrect character proximity. Hence, the contact bias in the CMC module is critical for maintaining the realistic proximity and interactions. This example again shows that without contact bias, interaction lose physical grounding despite correct motion structure. These results again highlight the necessity of explicit contact bias for fine-grained interaction modeling. Now we discuss failure cases to highlight the current limitations. CoShMDM sometimes struggle with tightly synchronized multi-step gestures such as the coordinated clapping actions. Direction ambiguity and the complex rhythmic actions also remain challenging in some of the possible cases. Some failure cases arise from misaligned orientations and abrupt head motion changes. And it should be noted that these abrupt orientation changes are due to the presence of the similar artifacts in the training dataset. Sometimes the long sequential actions, such as the precise spin counts, are not always accurately preserved. Finally, the circular group motions are sometimes confused with local spinning behavior. So these are some of the limitations of our study. In summary, the CoShMDM advances human interaction generation through contact and shape-aware diffusion modeling while leaving room for future improvements in synchronization and long-horizon reasoning.